Snakes and emus to barn owls.
A cherished sight here in our region, but nationally and regionally, barn owls are struggling this year because vole numbers are down.
Yes, in Suffolk, they're bucking the trend, and that coincides with the 10-year anniversary of a community project set up to help the birds, as Tanya Mercer has been finding out.
Serene and silent, a welcome sight across the farmland of East Anglia. Sadly, this year barn owl numbers are down across the country, but here in Suffolk, they're doing well. And today, it's monitoring day for the 3 inhabitants of this box in Cotton.
We've got individually numbered rings, so each one of these owls will become an individual, and that'll be its number forever. So if this bird ever gets refound anywhere, we'll know where it came from, we'll know how old it is. You can see they're quite a small ring. It's equivalent to us wearing a watch or a bracelet, and we're just going to pop that on the leg using specially designed pliers. And the ring will just sit on there so it can move up and down. The bird won't even notice it once it's wearing it. We are now going to work out how old it is, and we can do that actually by measuring the 7th primary feather. These feathers are in what we call pin at the moment, so the feathers are actually growing out of the sheath, and we can see that that is 16 millimetres at the moment.
16 millimetres, so that would make it about 30 to 31 days old.
Yeah, so it's just into its 5th week.
And it will fledge at what sort of
they'll be fledging from 56 days.
From the 1940s, barn owl numbers plummeted. Populations fell by 70% as farming techniques intensified and habitat and nest sites were lost. But numbers are now improving. One reason is efforts by groups like the Suffolk Barn Owl Conservation Project, which has been running for 10 years.
The idea of the project really was that we had feeding opportunities for the barn owls because we had field margins being developed as part of environmental stewardship, but we didn't have nesting opportunities. We lost a lot of the hollow trees, Dutch elm disease, field trees taken out because they shaded crops. So we put the boxes up to simulate those hollow trees, and that worked beyond our wildest dreams.
Back to the monitoring, and the next job is to weigh the chicks, and the scales and the size of their stomachs say it all.
209.2 grams.
So this is the heaviest one of the lot, 407.7. That's quite a size, isn't it?
It is, yes. That's heavier than the adults. The females really weigh about 340 to 360 grams, whereas the males weigh around about 290 to 300. But then they lose this puppy fat just before they fledge. So when they get to week 6 and week 7, they'll just start to go down. And because otherwise they're going to be too fat to fly.
That one certainly is. So there we have it then, 3 healthy little barn owl chicks, and this really has been a Suffolk success story. When the project started 10 years ago, there were just 80 to 90 breeding pairs. Now there are over 400. There are barn owls now seen in areas that before they'd been missing for generations. The success of this project lies with volunteers like Peter, who has this box in his garden and installed the camera that got these shots.
Barn owls are just a lovely bird, and I think most of us have got a fascination with them, and just having one in the garden has just been a great exercise. You can just sit there and watch the owls going on. A lot of staring goes on. I stare at them and they stare at me. They know when you're about.
Pretty magical though.
Oh, it's lovely, yes, absolutely.
Project leaders say there's still some way to go to protect these beautiful birds. More boxes are needed, and also the next generation of volunteers to help nurture the next generation of owls. Tanya Mercer, ITV News, Cotton.